beautiful Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome to your Tarot and Oracle reading for December. I am Teresa, Doctor of Metaphysics and Ascension Guide, here to bring a deeper meaning to the cards. We're going to do a path reading for you to see where you're going in December, what may be coming for you. We're going to find out what your strengths and blessings are on this path, what challenges you may need to overcome, and what your actual mountain is, what your big mission is this month. And we'll get advice from Spirit, then we'll pull some oracle cards. God, Spirit, Universe, please bring truth, clarity, and wisdom to this reading for the Libra family and help Libra navigate to their highest and most blessed timeline. Thank you, Spirit. All right, beautiful Libra. At the bottom of the deck, we have the sun, and this is what signifies you this month. This is real open and free and happy energy. You know, it feels, Libra, like burdens being removed and like celebration, ease, peace, all those good things. The sun is considered the happiest card in the deck, so signifying you just feels like you're keeping your vibe high and keeping things light, you know. All right, so your path goes from Queen of Swords to the World to the Empress. And this is so interesting because you are the third person who got both the World and the Empress on their path. That's wild. So there is a lot of manifesting, a lot of creating happening here. The World card is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. And the Empress is the creatrix, the goddess, the creator goddess of this world. So you have the world and the creator of the world. So very interesting. And the Queen of Swords, clarity, wisdom, authenticity. She's got the blue of the throat chakra, you know, and her wide open crown chakra feels like coming to a place in your life where you're speaking your truth, where you have transformed. You know, there's this butterfly energy here all around, and the butterflies are blue. Again, real throat chakra, authentic energy, where you've transformed into a deeper resonance of who you are. You'll see the butterfly behind the Empress card here as well. You know, you've changed, beautiful Libra. You've upgraded, and there's a lot of grace here too. You know, notice she has the swans here. Those are her actual wings. And then you have the swan energy here. You know, it just feels like grace, gratitude. And again, with the World, the end of a cycle of creating, you know. This is manifestation energy, but it's like starting something new. Ultimately, that's what it's going to lead you to, you know. Feels like a super full harvest for a lot of you beautiful Libras as well. And then where your path leads to, this is wild. You have the Nine of Cups, the Wish card, and the Death card, death and transformation. So beautiful Libra, pause the video and make a wish, because you never waste a wish with the Nine of Cups. All right, Libra, so wish fulfillment that brings great change. And again, you can see the butterfly here, right? Transformation. The Death card is the Scorpio card, and Scorpio starts as a scorpion, then it becomes an eagle, then it becomes the phoenix, rising from the ashes. You know, with the Death card and the World card here, something is ending and something new is beginning, a real upgrade. It just feels like from the ashes, you emerge, just like the phoenix, you emerge into something. And look at all the butterflies here. I can't believe this. To something on a higher level, you know, whatever it is that you're thinking about, what you're working on, what you're intending, what you set your intentions at is being upgraded, like being promoted at work or being, you know, graduated from school or something like that, where now you can begin a higher journey, right? When you graduate school, then you get a career. And so you're, you know, or you graduate school, you start a higher degree, right? When you're promoted at work, you start a new job, essentially, right? Doing something higher. It's definite up-leveling, but there will be something left behind. You know, there is a pile of ashes there where death is concerned. This is real. Again, you have the Sun card typifying you and wish fulfillment. this is a wish come true, you know. Very exciting, beautiful Libra. And what your blessing is, what your strength is on this path is the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. The Nine of Wands is your wisdom, your strength, your experience, your maturity in manipulating energy, using your energy, and using your body. You know, the Wands is your fire element, and the Nine is maturity. You know, the Nine of the major arcana is the Hermit, and the Hermit stands on the mountain alone. It's lonely at the top because not everybody ascends to that level. And you don't just ascend overnight, right? So it takes a level of experience to get there and a lot of work. Like there's a lot of work that you put behind whatever this path is, and that work is paying off, right? And the Ace of Pentacles is a seed. It's a gift. One of your strengths and gifts on this path is Spirit giving you a gift. It's a magic seed. It's like the bean in Jack and the Beanstalk that's going to grow, interestingly enough, where the goose lays the golden egg. And I just feel like that goose energy, that swan energy, you know, it just feels like something special. And you know what? Look at this. The Queen of Swords is holding a unicorn horn. That's very special. It's very rare. Not everyone gets unicorn horns, right? So there's like the information that you get, the clarity, the wisdom, the understanding you get with the Queen of Swords. This could be communication coming in, downloads being received, messages being sent to you, whatever it is really special. You know, what you're delivering to the world through your authentic throat chakra is really special, really rare, right? And it feels like that Ace of Pentacles is part of that like special energy, you know? Again, the red butterfly, like so much newness here, right? That's born out of you being ready, you being experienced, you being prepared, you being good at what you do as well. And then your challenges on this path, beautiful Libra, is the Fool and the Prince of Swords. So what you could be getting information that challenges you. You know, you could be getting information that is upsetting in some way. This is Hugin and Munin, the ravens of the Allfather Odin, who go all over the worlds, and then they come back and they report what they hear. You know, the Prince of Swords is receiving messages, is receiving wisdom, right? So for a lot of you, this could just be like a program of study that is very challenging. It's hard for you to process because it's a lot of information. That's possible in your challenging position. That makes perfect sense. You know, whatever it is information or clarity or a lack of clarity that you might find difficult to assimilate onto your path. Also, you have the Fool. Like for some of you, this is the inability to believe, to have faith. You know, the Fool has perfect faith. That's why he steps off of the cliff, knowing that the bridge will manifest beneath his feet, right? So here the Fool will have to have courage to step into this void here where there's like this potential monster that wants to eat him, you know, like there is the need to trust that your path is protected, your path is destined, you know, that it's been laid out from spirit, you know, and also there's the crow there, right? So there's this like a thought, like a negative voice in your head, perhaps, you know, that just tells you, makes you question your path, you know. And I want to point out that these are moths of the night. I forget what they're called, but they are also representative of actual death. So you have the death card here, right? And then you have representations of that in this card. Feels like, you know, it may be difficult for you to let go of what it is that you need to let become a pile of ashes, you know. Like when you are ascending, like say for instance, if you get a promotion at work, you know, you can't be friends with everybody that you were friends with before. It just doesn't work out well that way, right? So it could be hard to let go of those friendships. When you are graduating school and you're going to college, you're not going to have the same schoolmates, you know, in relationship, the same thing. So really, I mean, that's the kind of energy that we have here. Really, the remedy is just have faith and trust in your path. And the mountain that you have to overcome, like the ultimate challenges that will help you, you know, the stumbling block that's going to make you stronger, and it's all downhill after this, is the Seven of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. The Seven of Cups is a challenge of values, of your desires. It's like being tested. You know, it's like Spirit hands you 7 cups and says, choose wisely. Which one will you choose? Right. And it reminds me, there's this old movie where I think it was like an Indiana Jones movie. If it wasn't an Indiana Jones movie, it was like something along those lines where he had to decide which one of the cups was the real grail. You know, and if he chose the wrong one, then he would die, or the cave that he was in, you know, a bunch of rocks would fall and he'd get trapped in there or something like that. And so he picked the right one. He picked the grail that didn't look like it was made out of wood, if I remember correctly, you know, and it looked like the kind of cup that a poor carpenter would have used, right? Instead of all these rich, elaborate, decorated ones. So it's like choose wisely, because some of these are truly detrimental to you and your path, you know, and really check in with yourself, check in with that open crown chakra, the messages that you're receiving from Spirit and all that, you know, go into the center where there's peace within you and make your choice from there, you know, and then you will choose wisely and you can ascend the mountain. Here you have literal representations of the mountains where, you know, once you do that, you'll be able to go through the portal and down the mountain. You know, it really looks very, very literal to me here. And the Five of Pentacles is changing your values, changing how you feel about something, changing how you invest in something. Pentacles is the earth element, so it's a person, place, or thing, right? And the fives is where you make an adjustment. You have to make a change. So it feels like, you know, changing what you are giving to, you know, what you may notice when you want to be more discerning about your investments, you'll start to see which ones give back to you and which ones don't. And so, you know, it does take a degree of courage, though, to make changes based on that, you know. So don't cast your pearls to the swine, for instance, you know. So that could be very, very challenging for you. You know, this could be that death and transformation energy could just be something that you need to actively release yourself, you know. And then your advice cards from Spirit is the Emperor, the Tower, and the Ace of Swords. Wow, this is kind of saying what I was just talking about here. The Emperor creates boundaries. The Emperor, once you achieve a certain level of anything, you need to secure it. You know, so you create budgets, you create schedules, you create plans, and you turn ideas into concrete reality that way, you know. So it feels like creating boundaries around yourself, creating boundaries around your ideas. It just feels like taking charge of your life, stepping up. And for some of you, this is step into a leadership role. Step into a boss type role. The Emperor is the ultimate boss, right? And then you have the Tower. The Tower with the Death card is, I mean, that is literal a pile of ashes. Something that may have felt secure, something that may have made you feel confident, you know, in your future or in your safety. Right? Because that's what we do. We put ourselves in towers where we're up and elevated and away from the town beneath us and around us in order to be protected. You know, a lot of us, we just lock our doors and stay inside the house, or we don't say our words all the time, and we kind of keep to our own company and we don't put ourselves out there. That's tower energy. When that comes down, we are grounded, we are humbled, we are unmasked. There's something in your life, there's some aspect of your thoughts, words, and deeds that spirit wants you to release, wants you to free. And when you do, there is peace. Peace seems to always be the key here, like in choosing the correct grail, choose from a place of peace. It's just like, the answer already. You just have to go within, right? And also there is a level of destiny here. There's a meteor here or a comet, like this was destined to happen. Towers don't fall themselves, right? People can't just throw arrows and spears at towers and make them fall either. It takes an act of God, like a lightning strike. So recognize that when something does fall this month, beautiful Libra, it was meant to fall. It was meant to happen. Timing is divine. Right? And so is your path. So if anything is in the way of your path, when the time comes, nothing will keep it safe. It will be reduced to a pile of ashes, and you don't even have to do anything about it. So when something like that does happen in your life, just recognize that it was in your way, and Spirit is saying, you're welcome. You're welcome. And then the Ace of Swords, get clear, be curious, open your mind, stay open-minded. Spirit is sending you message here. It is very clear Spirit is sending you messages. With the Ace of Swords, there's definite input here being given. You have Hugin and Moon in here, right? It's a challenge for you to process that or assimilate that information. It feels like Spirit is saying, focus on that. If this is a program of study or literally learning something, focus on that. You can do this. You've got this. And if this is like just messages from Spirit, be open to it and recognize the truth in what Spirit is sending you. Recognize the gift behind what Spirit is sending you. All right, let's get some Oh, there we go. I was thinking about the Queen of Swords when these guys came out. Let's clarify the Death card. Thank you, Spirit. Let's clarify Prince of Swords. Thank you. And lastly, let's clarify the Tower. Perfect. Okay. So the Queen of Swords is clarified with the Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is like fast energy, and the Knight of Pentacles is slow energy. Take it as it resonates, beautiful Libra. But you know what I'm going to say here? Look at this. These are those night moths that I talked about that represent death. And they're here too. So there's something about change, transformation, releasing some old sense of perhaps identity, some old relationship, something like that. Okay. Oh, wait, there was Eight of Cups. All right. So you have Eight of Wands, which is super fast. And this could be fast energy, fast messages, fast unfolding. And, it's like these really cool caterpillars quickly become these moths, right? So swift change, you, beautiful Libra. And Knight of Pentacles, this is so interesting because you have the Ace of Pentacles here. This is that seed I talked about, seed planting, and that's literally represented by the Knight of Pentacles. He plants seeds and then he lets Spirit do the rest. So it feels like with the Queen of Swords, that clarity energy, she is giving you clarity about what to go after, what to make happen, and what to allow Spirit to do for you, And it also is swift manifestation, swift materialization, because the Knight of Pentacles has been working on something for a while and it quickly unfolds. So there you have both that energy of long time and quickness, like something that you have with the Queen of Swords, been asking for a while, been thinking about for a while, been waiting for, it information, clarity, wisdom, growth, authority, maturity, all those kinds of things. Sovereignty is unfolding quickly because you've earned it, because you've worked for it, okay? Because you've been co-creating with spirit, and it's inevitable. Now, you have the Death card with the Five of Pentacles, and we talked about the Five of Pentacles up here, right? So you got the Five of Pentacles twice, which is, again, changing your investments, changing your values, making an adjustment with something materially. And the Death card is like leaving behind something, right? So it's like choosing one thing over another. And you know what? For a lot of you, you don't even have a choice. With the Five of Pentacles, this could be, you can see that these are like disabled beggars, like not doing too well, barefoot in the snow. And there's a church here, right? They're feeling left out in the cold. They're feeling kicked out of their house, expelled, broken up with, fired from a job, disowned by their family, like some type of, what is the word? Anyways, excommunication, ostracization, that type of thing. And with the Death card, this is like going to end your relationship, potentially, beautiful Libra, with a community, or some type of community, or some type of communal agreement, but it's all for the better, wish fulfillment, Sun card, it's all for the better, okay? But yeah, it does feel like it has something to do with groups, groupthink, group dynamics, okay? And then Prince of Swords is clarified by the Eight of Cups. This is walking away from what doesn't serve you. I'm seeing a theme here, beautiful Libra. I just see a theme, right? And here you are going again in the direction of peace with the white dove here. So it's like walking away from what is not peaceful. It's like getting information, Prince of Swords, about something, someone, some situation, and being like, oh, that's not what I thought it was, or, oh, I'm no longer resonating with that. More like, I just don't resonate with that anymore. I'm seeing things so differently because I am so changed. You used to really value those 8 cups, and now they're pretty much worthless to you. You're giving up a lot to have a better, more peaceful future. Okay. And literally that's what the Tower clarified by the Six of Swords says. Not to be redundant, but beautiful Libra, Six of Swords is going to calmer shores, going to deeper, clearer waters. That's going to take you to a more peaceful existence. So the Tower falling, whatever that pile of ashes is, used to be something that was tumultuous, something, you can see the volcano here, something upsetting, something energetically distracting, drama, trauma, right? So, and, conflict. So you're finding peace, you're leaving, you're being told to anyways, right? Because these are your advice cards. You're leaving a situation, a place where conflict was making your life less peaceful. Pretty simple, beautiful Libra. All right, let's get some more cards for Libra, some oracle cards for Libra in December. Thank you, Spirit. All right. Okay, Libra, you have sacred action, decisive focus. And with the, that is exactly what this says, stay focused. Whatever it is that you're setting your intention on, let that be your guiding star, and don't be distracted by other things. Don't give energy to anything else right now. And touching earth, planting something new. That is the truth. With the Ace of Pentacles, that's exactly what you're doing. With the World card, you're definitely ending an old reality and you're planting a new one. And you can see the beautiful white angel wings here. There's purity behind it. Like your life is becoming more pure. It's starting to make more sense to you, And then you have beauty and protection. So you are protected. And I wanted to say that too with the the Emperor card. The Emperor doesn't just create boundaries to protect himself. He is protected. That is part of the message there. And like I said with the Tower, Spirit says you're welcome. Man's rejection is God's protection. I really feel that with the Five of Pentacles as well. And beauty is just like finding a more beautiful life. But I just want to say this. Butterflies all over this card as well. So big changes, beautiful Libra, big blessings. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being you, and I'll see you next time. Peace.